All right, Coach, introduce yourself and we'll get started.
Kevin Baker, women's basketball coach at UTEP.
You had a couple of weeks, players in the gym, everybody's trying to find their way. Is it more, how the kids, the leaders of the team, are they starting to take ownership, or are they still coach?
Well, you know, a player-led team is always better than a coach-led team. So whenever your seniors decide to step up and lead, your team's automatically better. We have 4 seniors that are already stepping up in practice each day, ready to lead our team. We're certainly going to need them to do so because underneath those 4 seniors, we are a lot of young kids with a lot of talent. So in a way, we're going to be young, but thank goodness we have some good senior leadership.
Talk about that. Here recently, especially over the last 2 years, it's about old and staying old.
Yes.
Because of leadership.
Yeah.
How much is our mesh in between the two, and are the freshmen starting to adjust from high school speed to college speed?
Yeah. You know, that cliche, keep your team old. That's what you want to do, right? Sometimes you can't help it, though. Sometimes those younger ones come in and they're a little bit better prepared than what you would think. Sometimes you wonder if they're going to have a hard time translating from high school immediately to college, but our kids seem to be doing okay. Of course, the size and speed will always bother them at first, no matter what, but I think translating their game from high school to college has been better than I probably would have expected it to be, at least to this point.
How much is scheduling is one of the things, and all this conference has changed, and is it harder now to get scheduling, or is it still the same, trying to get that RPI up to where you want it to be?
Well, other than recruiting at UTEP, scheduling is the number one most difficult thing on my list every day. Because one, we don't want to schedule cupcakes. We're not going to. We don't schedule any Division IIs. We don't schedule any NAIA schools. We only schedule Division I teams. And when you do that, you got to be willing to travel, and you got to be able to pay some people to come play at your place. So we always try to do home and homes. I play there. You come to us. Doesn't always work out. I think. When Coach Adams had UTEP really rolling, a lot of people now no longer want to come to El Paso because they might get beat too. So there's part of that as well. I think it's difficult for every coach here to schedule games nowadays, certainly schedule them the way you want to, working on RPI and having those types of things. But we're a little bit extra special challenge being so close to Mexico. But at the same time, we do a pretty good job at it. I think each year we've got a pretty difficult schedule. This year in particular, pretty difficult schedule.
Talk about this conference. This is a lot of growth. Since the time you've been at UTEP, do you think it has gotten to a point to where it could be a 2-team tournament league?
Yeah, when I first got here a couple of years ago, I thought the league was just about average, but I think the last couple of years they've really stepped up their game, recruiting better players, things like that. And I thought certainly last year we had 2 teams that were good enough to be in the NCAA tournament, and Rice and Middle Tennessee both were really, really good at the end of the year when you want them to be that good. I thought they would have represented us very, very well. Both of them, Rice already did. And I think this year we'll have the same thing occur, except we'll even be better. Teams 1 through 4, Western Kentucky and UAB, right up there in the top 4. I think any one of those 4 teams could represent us well in the tournament.
The other change this year is the 3-point line and the 20-second shot. Are they major changes or minimal? Or how quickly would the girls adjust?
Well, on the women's side, they're going to leave the 3-point line there for 1 more year and then vote on it again. So I think it'll happen.
Do they know what they want to do?
I think it'll happen this time next year. Okay. But in terms of the 20-second reset, I think that's a good rule because it sort of standardizes it for everybody. It's going to be the same across the board. I think it's easier for our shot clock operators to do that. And, of course, it makes it a good, clean rule for everybody. Reset to 20, and let's just keep playing.
Is there anything other than those 2 That's pretty much it as far as the changes and all that happened
Yeah.
this off season.
There's a couple of minor changes, but for the most part, the 20-second reset's number one on the list.
Facilities is the next thing because that's part also one of the major parts of recruiting. How are things at UTEP?
We have top-notch facilities, probably some of the best facilities in the country. And if we needed it, we just did a $500,000 renovation of a really, really, really nice facility. So we didn't need the upgrade. But sort of piggybacking on Coach Terry, his honeymoon phase at UTEP, they threw some money at the program, and we reaped the benefits of that as well. But our place, it was already really nice, and it just got a lot nicer.
When you do that, kids come on campus the first time, parents are always going to be the ones that's going to be, kind of stand out. But the kids get that wow factor, and it changes things.
It does, and you wouldn't think that a wow factor would get kids these days, but it sure seems to be doing that. We have state-of-the-art lockers now. They walk in, if that doesn't catch their attention, I don't think anything will. So girls are more concerned with fit than nice things sometimes, but at the same time, it doesn't hurt to have the greatest facilities that you can have.
That is true. With that, reintroduce yourself and we'll close this out.
Kevin Baker, head coach at the University of Texas El Paso women's basketball, and I just appreciate the interview.
Thank you, and this is Jerry Lee Woodley Jr., the College Sports Report, signing off.